Trump's allies are clearly worried about this debate, and they should be. He's a really bad debater. But they've got some advice for him to try to stop him from being the worst version of himself. And what I love about this advice is how massively condescending it is. With every word of advice to Donald Trump, they show what a tiny, petulant, little emotional baby boy they think he is. Here's Fox and Friends.
What Kamala Harris is gonna try to do is get him into this race war, right? To be vicious, to attack her as a woman. Don't put voters in that position where they have to choose between their economic situation and feeling sympathetic for Kamala Harris.
You can't get personal.
You can't get personal. I'm not saying that it is fair. I'm not saying that she may go low and call him a racist on the stage, but his response should be, you said that about Joe Biden too, and you went to work for him. So you have to be very strategic right there because they want ads of him eviscerating her from her personality and her being a woman.
Yeah, so what does that actually boil down to? Like, dude, just try to act like an adult for like 90 minutes. Just don't say the N-word, please don't say the N-word. Don't talk about when she became a black woman. Don't do that. Don't call her nasty. Don't do all of the things that you know he wants to do and likely will do. I do think that he's still going to do those things. And I love the guy in Fox and Friends being like, she'll go low, because she's nasty. And she'll do something underhanded like call him a racist, which he definitely, obviously is not. And so that's the advice. We'll see. Do you think he can keep to it? He was disciplined with Biden, but then he could afford to be because from the first word out of Biden's mouth, he knew that Biden was not going to win that debate. Trump still had a bad debate. I think everybody forgets that with how bad Joe Biden's was. Trump was talking about his putting game and stuff too. He sounded like a madman. But do you think he's going to be the Trump we probably want him to be at this debate?
I'm really curious, Jonas, because I think it's important to remember that Trump did actually, in form only, do well in the last debate. Number one, he finished his sentences and wasn't slurring as much. The dentures were, in and fixed, and lubed or whatnot. But also next to Joe Biden, he looked great, but he was also reserved. He didn't, when Joe Biden was clearly melting down, Trump didn't say, he's clearly melting down, look at him. But Joe Biden's also an old white guy, just like Donald Trump. And there is something particular about women, about black people that, shall we say, triggers the old racist. And so we will see, and this is what they're doing. The Fox News is pleading, oh, please don't bring it up. Please don't, attack her for being stupid or, deciding to be black. And he may well rein it in. What I wanna say, John, is I think that Kamala Harris should not back away from the fact that Donald Trump is a raging misogynist, is a racist, that made his name in the real estate industry by denying, housing to black New Yorkers. Kamala Harris has done an incredible job at sort of trying to paint herself as a candidate for everyone. And supposedly if she doesn't mention that she's a woman or a black woman or an Asian woman, that feels like somehow it's for everyone. What I would hope is that she actually just names what is happening, which is that Donald Trump and the MAGA movement have a problem with difference, that they can play identity politics so long as you're a white, cis, straight man with a lot of money. And if you're not, then somehow you're going woke or you're being different. No, our country has difference. Some of it is painful, some of it's beautiful, blah, 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 blah. Fill in the blank with fluff. But you know what I'm saying, John? I don't want her to run from that. And I do think she's got to hit him. If there's not going to be mics on, if he's not going to get rope to hang himself with, she's got to poke the beast. She has to get under his skin. That I think is going to be important, right? We don't want to see they go low, you go high. We want to see a little bit of getting under his skin because we know it's thin as crap.
Yeah. I like, in some cases I do like the going high strategy, but this case I want to see you boxing his Diet Cokes. That's what I want. Go just that low, get him in the Big Macs. And I think that she will poke the bear. I think that she's gonna try it because it's just too good of a strategy. But in terms of like focusing on the misogyny and the racism, she has really tried to avoid that the entire race. And I don't think it's likely that she's going to change that. But hopefully she can find ways to, talk about the cases he's lost and, talk about all that stuff. Ask him, why is Melania not here tonight? Like you could do that sort of stuff. That's different.
But anyway, why is Melania not here tonight?
Hey, I don't see the wife. It's weird. Are you not maintaining the sham marriage for the purpose of the debate? Anyway, but I want to give it just a little bit more fast advice, and then we're going to turn to the Harris side of this. So just because it's so condescending, and the last bit of this is awesome. So stick around for that. Lindsey Graham did an op-ed and said the road to the White House runs through a vigorous policy debate, not an exchange of barbs. Just again, please don't insult her. Please don't insult her. Well, we'll see. Newt Gingrich said she'll be personal and try to demean him. I hope what he'll do is be the guy who's been a real president while she's been kind of a semi-vice president. The hell is that supposed to mean?
Gingrich? Oh God,
it's just, well, she's a black woman. She clearly wasn't really in this position or whatever. He's a guy who knows all the world leaders. Yeah, and they all respect him. And a guy who's been through an enormous amount and just be calm and steady and stick to the real difference. Yes, Trump has been through a lot and he put himself into all of that, by the way. But let's see, remember, Trump has said that he's entitled to personal attacks and won't change his strategy. I hope so. Here's my favorite part. So some people are going beyond advice. They don't think that Trump can save himself. And so they're appealing to a literal higher power. One Republican strategist told Politico, I pray he can be disciplined. Of all of the things you could pray on, just hoping Trump will not be a petulant 4-year-old boy. When you click the join button and become a tier 2 member, you get access to all of our weekly top 10 lists. What are you waiting for?